Hello there guys, welcome to another of my live videos, and on this video there's quite a few things to negotiate about. I am going to be giving you the latest news on Donny van de Beek from Ajax because there's huge developments on him. Then I'm going to be giving you the latest news on Daniel James because there's also huge developments on him. Then I'm going to be giving you a bit more additional information on Jude Bellingham. Then may negotiate some of the stuff that I did mention on my videos that I did yesterday and that. So let's get on with it. We'll start with the news on Donny van de Beek. So this is actually no stemming from the Times, and they have said that Manchester United are planning to hijack Real Madrid's £49 million pursuit of Donny van de Beek. And reportedly Ed Woodward is hoping to get Donny van de Beek for around £36 million. And it does also say that we are now in talks with Ajax over signing Donny van de Beek. You know, we have been in for him for quite some time. Obviously, you know, Edwin van der Sar, who is the CEO of Ajax, he's give his overarching view on this. And he did say that there was an agreement was reached to keep Donny van de Beek in Holland for another season. And obviously, you know, reports have also said that Real Madrid have already agreed to get Donny van de Beek in the summer transfer window for around £49 million or something like that. But Donny van de Beek had actually denied this. So there's actually no chance that Manchester United could get him on the board. Now, up until this point, Donny van de Beek has spent the entirety of his career with Ajax. He was in their youth setup for a good 7 years. He was in their youth setup from 2008 to 2015. He did make his debut in the Europa League against Celtic. And I think he has got a contract with Ajax until 2022. I think he's predominantly a box-to-box midfielder. I think he mainly, plays in that number 6. I think he's very, very good with both feet. His decision making is very, very good. He passes the ball very, very well. So if Manchester United were to sign Donny van de Beek, do you think he'd do it well in our midfield alongside the likes of Bruno Fernandes and Paul Pogba and all of that? Because we are looking to get a midfielder in the summer transfer window. And I think now he is only at the age of 23. Obviously, Ajax have lost quite a few of their imperative players in recent years. Obviously, lost Frankie de Jong to Barcelona. They also lost Matthijs de Ligt to Juventus last summer. I think there's also talks as well of Andrea Onana leaving Ajax. He's currently the Ajax goalkeeper. Now, Donny van de Beek was key for Ajax progressing to the Champions League semi-final last season, and he was key to them, winning the Eredivisie. But yeah, we have been in for him this season. So that is the latest news on Donny van de Beek. So it would be, very, very good if we could get him for £36 million, because that is a cheap solution. So there you go. So that is the breaking news on him anyway. Now let's give you the latest news on Daniel James. So according to recent reports, Man United will loan Daniel James out for next season if we do sign Jadon Sancho in the summer transfer window. Don't forget, Jadon Sancho is one of our priority targets. But he did say, if we do loan Daniel James out for next season, we will reward him with a new contract, reflecting how good he has done this season. This has been, his first season with Manchester United. Of course, if Daniel James does sign a new contract, he will get a huge pay rise. Now, of course, we did get Daniel James last summer from Swansea for around £15 million. He has played a lot of games this season as Daniel James. I think he's played around 37 games in all competitions this season. When he did sign for the football club last summer, Daniel James did sign a 5-year contract at the football club. So he's under contract with us until 2024, and he is also an option of a further year. Because obviously, if we do get Jadon Sancho, and obviously, Jadon Sancho is a right winner, then Daniel James may find game time very, very difficult, because for the vast majority of this season, Daniel James has been playing on that right-hand side. even though he is more effective from the left, Daniel James. Don't forget, Daniel James made his professional debut for Swansea back in 2018 and that. So yeah, so we could loan Daniel James out. But like I said, I'm surprised he's played as many games to the extent as he has done. I think I heard that Leeds United are considering getting him on loan. Don't forget, Leeds came close to getting Daniel James. But right at the last minute, Swansea had pulled out of the deal. But yeah, he's been an exceptional signing for us. Of course, he was the first signing that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer made. So that is the news on him. Now, let's give you the news on Jude Bellingham from Birmingham. So, the news is on Jude Bellingham. I'll say some of the stuff that I did mention yesterday as well. Jude Bellingham's father has come out and said, that he wants Jude Bellingham to move abroad. So, probably, wants him to make a move to Borussia Dortmund. Now, don't forget, there was reports stemming from the German press the other week saying that Jude Bellingham had agreed to join Borussia Dortmund and he had rejected a move to Manchester United. It also said quite a few months ago that Borussia Dortmund were leading the race for Jude Bellingham. So this is, what it had said. Now, don't forget, we have made a promise to Jude Bellingham, saying that, we will offer him a senior role if he comes to the football club in the summer transfer window. Now, don't forget, recent reports have also said regarding Jude Bellingham that Birmingham do expect him to stay for the remainder of the season. Birmingham have said that they want more money up front, so they want the full amount up front. If they are to offload Bellingham, I think the deal is worth around £50 million. Don't forget Pep Cloyter, who was the Birmingham boss. He said recently that more clubs will attract their interest in Bellingham, so we have been warned in that aspect. Now, don't forget, this has been Jude Bellingham's first season in the senior squad with Birmingham. He has been a revelation as well. He's played persistently this season in the Championship. I think he's played around 30 odd games, is it, in all competitions. Don't forget, Jude Bellingham became the youngest player to represent Birmingham. He made his debut at the age of 16 years and 38 days. Don't forget, Jude Bellingham had visited our Carrington training ground in March to obviously, hold talks with Sir Alex Ferguson, and also to Ed Woodward had had negotiations with his parents. So that fueled speculation up. That fueled some speculation up. Of course, Jude Bellingham is 16 years of age at the moment, so he's still inexperienced. He's nearly 17 now, is Jude Bellingham, and I think it did say that when he turns 17, he will sign his professional contract with Birmingham, because at the moment he's on around 145 quid a week, is Jude Bellingham. But up until this point, he's spent the entirety of his career with Birmingham. He's been a Birmingham player since the age of 8, and he was in their youth setup for several years. Also, too, Chelsea have also been interested in Bellingham. So there's been a few clubs that have been in for him, and I think his versatility is also very, very good. But some people believe Jude Bellingham is not ready for the Premier League yet. Some people say he needs at least another season in the Championship, to emulate to that, level, and to obviously, gain more experience, because £50 million is a lot of money for a 16-year-old. So let's just, put that into the equation. But some players that come from the Championship to the Premier League tend to do really, really well. Only some of them, though. So that is the latest news on Jude Bellingham. That's the latest news on him. Don't forget, there was reports coming out a few weeks ago as well, saying that, we want to get Jude Bellingham's brother as part of the deal. His brother's Joe Bellingham, who is only at the age of 15 and that. So that is the breaking news on him. Now, obviously, the ongoing situation with Jadon Sancho. Borussia Dortmund have said, they do want £100 million. Borussia Dortmund have remained ruthless over their valuation. But I think, there's a dilemma regarding the Jadon Sancho. There's a dilemma regarding Jadon Sancho, because reportedly we are reluctant to pay any more than £70 million for any player. And like I said, Dortmund do want at least £100 million. Obviously, if we was to pay £100 million, that would, smash our transfer record, because our most expensive signing at the moment is Paul Pogba, who we paid £89 million for. Recent reports have said, and I think this has been stemming from the Independent, saying that Liverpool are monitoring Jadon Sancho's situation. Don't forget, Liverpool have been in for him before. Of course, Liverpool have missed out on Timo Werner by the looks of things. It's looking very, very likely that Timo Werner is going to be going to Chelsea. Obviously, Chelsea are going to get him for around 53, 54 million. Chelsea have offered him a 5-year contract worth £200,000 a week. So Timo Werner now to Liverpool is dead in the water. So now, this is why, they are back in for Jadon Sancho. I was reading reports yesterday, and it does say that Liverpool will offer 3 of their players new contracts if they can sign Jadon Sancho. And I think for Liverpool to get Sancho anyway, they'd have to sell one of their attacking trio in Salah, Firmino, Mane, so Sancho can get game time week in, week out. Don't forget as well, Jadon Sancho's recently been told by Emre Can to grow up. Reflecting on, the haircut fine, because he'd been fined for that, because Borussia Dortmund did recently deny that Jadon Sancho had flew to England, because it did say that he'd flown to England without permission, so he did break, lockdown rules. But, we are still looking to get Jadon Sancho on the board, and we have been in for him for quite some time. We first expressed our interest in him in 2017. This was back under the Jose Mourinho era. And since then, we have been in for Jadon Sancho. I think Jadon Sancho did reveal that his preferred option would be a move to Manchester United if he was to leave Borussia Dortmund in the summer transfer window. And that. Don't forget, there were stories coming out from Mundo Deportivo the other week saying that we'd offered Alexis Sanchez to Borussia Dortmund for the swap deal for Jadon Sancho. I did say, didn't I, that swap deal would not materialise. There was reports also coming out the other week saying that Sancho's move to Man United depends on Manchester City having their 2-year European ban upheld and all of that. But obviously, if Sancho comes to Man United, I think we'll give him the number 7, because we have got number 7 vacant at the moment. And like I've said to you before, we've had a lot of good number 7s up and down the generations, but our recent number 7s haven't been so good. But there's actually still a chance that Jadon Sancho could remain loyal to Borussia Dortmund for next season, and he could leave next summer instead, of this summer, because maybe next summer, Jadon Sancho will be cheaper, to be quite honest with you. Basically, it depends on how he performs. Sancho, don't forget, just recently recovered from a calf injury and that. But Dortmund, have been in the process of trying to extend his contract. Sancho has got a contract with Borussia Dortmund until 2022. Dortmund got him for next to nothing. They only paid £8 million in from Man City. So Dortmund, looking to make a huge profit on the player. The main explanation, why Dortmund want that much for him is because his valuation has persistently grown in the few years he has been in Germany. But I've outlined a few of the reasons why I'd take Sancho at Manchester United is because he's well Premier League proven. Also, too, he's got a very, very good friendship with Rashford, and he would complement our attacking line. The main explanations why I left Manchester City is because he didn't get any first team opportunities at Man City. And before he was at Man City, he was at Watford. And he was at Watford for several years, was Jadon Sancho and that. Don't forget, like I mentioned before, we've been working on his contract for quite some time. And we've also, been in negotiations with his agent for quite some time. Dortmund, are known as a selling football club, because they have let quite a few of their players go to the Premier League in recent years. They have recruited quite a few players in as well, though, in recent years. They got the likes of Erling Haaland, Thorgan Hazard, Julian Braun, Emre Can, so they have recruited quite a few players in. But obviously, Sancho is aware of the speculation. Don't forget, he recently paid tribute to George Floyd That was in Borussia Dortmund's 6-1 win against Paderborn, was it last weekend, when Jadon Sancho had scored an hat-trick. That was, by the way, then his first start in the Bundesliga since the Bundesliga returned and all of that. So yeah, so we are still looking to get him on the board. Don't forget, he recently said as well that Real Madrid have recently expressed their interest in Sancho, but Real Madrid are planning to sign him in the next summer. You know, don't forget, he did say back in February that we had a £125 million bid turned down for Sancho. So you know the news on that. You know the news on Jack Grealish as well. I mentioned Jack Grealish to you guys yesterday, didn't I? Now, it does say that Jack Grealish is our number one priority target for the summer transfer window. So we have said that Jack Grealish is our preference over Kai Havertz, and he's also our preference over James Maddison. I think the main explanations why Grealish is our preference over Maddison is because his stats have been better than Maddison's. He's more versatile than James Maddison and that, and this is why. Like I said, Jack Grealish has remained loyal to Aston Villa for several years. You know, he's been a Villa player since the age of 6, reason up their youth academy. Grealish has been in Villa's senior squad since 2014, and since then has become an integral part of Aston Villa's team. You know, he was key for Villa getting promotion to the Premier League. He was key for them getting to the Carabao Cup final. You know, and he's still got a contract with Aston Villa until 2023. But if Aston Villa do get relegated, then, you know, Jack Grealish, you know, will definitely not stay at Aston Villa. But even if, you know, Villa were to avoid relegation, that probably still wouldn't be enough to convince him to stay. Don't forget, you know, Villa do remain ruthless over their valuation. They did say they want around 80 million for Grealish. Regardless, you know, whether they stay up or get relegated, they still want £80 million. But maybe we've got strong reservations about paying 80 million. He did say a while back that we're hopeful that we can get Jack Grealish for around £50 million. There was also stories a few weeks ago saying that, you know, we could offer Aston Villa up to 5 players to get Jack Grealish on the board. And that. Don't forget, you know, he had that incident in March with his £80,000 Range Rover, you know, when he crashed it and he got fined £150,000. That obviously, you know, then put Jack Grealish's move to Manchester United in doubt. You know, but there has been a few clubs that have been interested in Jack Grealish. You know, Tottenham came close to getting him in the summer of 2018. You know, there's been a few clubs that have been interesting, but I'd take him at Man United. And it did actually, you know, say the other week that Grealish's move to Manchester United hinges on Paul Pogba's future, and that can play as an attacking midfielder and can also play as a winner. I think he's been playing a lot on the wing throughout the course of this season, but I think he just feels as though he's too good for Villa, and Villa, you know, just cannot match his ability. And obviously, you know, we're the type of club that will be able to double his wages at least. So now he is our number one priority target. Kai Havertz, you know the news on him. There has been stories recently coming out saying that Bayern Munich are confident of getting him. And it did say it will cost Bayern Munich around £80 million to get Kai Havertz. So if he was to go to Bayern Munich, he would remain in Germany, of course. Obviously, you know, it recently said that Real Madrid had put a £71 million bid in for Kai Havertz, but will allow him to remain in Germany until next summer. Obviously, you know, don't forget there were stories coming out earlier on this week from Sky Sports saying, you know, we were planning to put a £50 million bid in for him, and we were leading the race for the player. Some Manchester United fans think, you know, that Kai Havertz would be an ideal signing. He's done very, very well in Germany. Up until this point, he's spent the entirety of his career with Bayer Leverkusen. You know, I think he was in Bayer Leverkusen's youth squad for a good, was it, 6 or 7 years. And then obviously, you know, broke into the senior squad in 2016, I think, and since then has become an integral part of their team. Chelsea have been in for Kai Havertz, obviously, you know, Liverpool have been relentlessly linked to him. £50 million wouldn't be enough. You know, he probably cost maybe in the 70 odd or 80 odd million pound range. So there you go. So you do know the news on him. Like I updated you as well yesterday, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has recently discussed his plans ahead of the Premier League restart, and Solskjaer, did tell our players to rediscover their edge ahead of our first game against Tottenham. And he did say, Manchester United have been working on new ideas. And he did say, we will continue where we left off. Because obviously, before the football season got suspended, we was in a good vein of form. Don't forget, we are unbeaten in our last 11 games in all competitions and that, you know. And we have been doing very, very well in training. The good news is now we have got a fully fit squad. Marcus Rashford is now back from his back injury, which is obviously very, very good news because, like I said, Rashford is one of our best players, and he was one of our best players earlier on in the season before he sustained this back injury. Obviously, Paul Pogba as well. He's now back from his ankle injury, which is very, very good. I think we had a training game yesterday, by the way, at Old Trafford. But it is now very, very good that we have got a fully fit squad. But like you updated you on my video yesterday night, Solskjaer did drop a hint regarding Pogba and Rashford, saying that they may not be thrown into Premier League action straight away. But yeah, so our game against Tottenham is on the 19th of June, which is is it around 11 or 12 days away now. Really, really looking forward to it. And I think, we can beat Tottenham. I think we can definitely beat Tottenham. Solskjaer's looking to beat Tottenham for the third time as a manager, and he's looking to beat Jose Mourinho for the second time as a manager because he's already overcome Jose Mourinho once. Don't forget we were supposed to play Tottenham on the 15th of March, but due to lockdown, the game could not go ahead. I think the Premier League has been suspended now for a good, is it 10, 11, or is it even 12 weeks now? It has been suspended. So I am really, really, looking forward to it. Don't forget, before the football season got suspended, Solskjaer was talking about how much he's changed Manchester United since he replaced Jose Mourinho back in December 2018. Don't forget, Tottenham, they've got a fully fit squad as well. They've got Harry Kane back because he did sustain a hamstring injury in January. They've also got Human Son back. They have had a few injuries this season of Tottenham, so they've had to make a lot of rotation in their squad. I think, the mistake Tottenham did make was obviously, recommending Jose Mourinho in, because Jose Mourinho is no longer a manager at the top level. He's got a good pedigree behind him, reflect on the amount of silverware he's won. He was a good manager back in the day, but he has now passed his sell-by date as Jose Mourinho. I think, a lot of Tottenham fans, are very, very critical of him and they do want him out. But, they made the mistake by getting rid of Pochettino. I think Tottenham should have stuck with Mauricio Pochettino. Mauricio Pochettino endured 5.5 years with Tottenham. Obviously, last year, Tottenham did decide to sack Mauricio Pochettino. Tottenham will look to make signings in the summer transfer window. Of course, they've been paying debts off that they owe to their £1 billion stadium. And they have made some signings so far under Jose Mourinho. I think they've made around 2 or 3 signings so far under Mourinho. Of course, they got Jedson Fernandez, they got Steven Bergwijn, they got Giovanni Lo Celso permanently. They've recruited a few players in recent years. They got Ryan Sessegnon from Fulham. Obviously, they got Tanguy Ndombele, who I think, if I'm right, is Tottenham's most expensive signing, or one of their most expensive signings. Also, too, didn't they get Sergio Aurier? I think they got Davinson Sanchez, back in 2017. Don't forget, Tottenham let a few players go in January. Obviously, they let Danny Rose go out on loan to Newcastle. They let Christian Eriksen go after he endured 7 years with Tottenham and that. But yeah, so like I said to you, there's things, that Manchester United have got to look forward to for when the football season resumes. Like I said, the top 4 is a priority for us because we do want to get that top 4 because we want to get qualification for the Champions League for next season. We are sitting 5th at the moment and we are just 3 points behind Chelsea. Also, too, the FA Cup and the Europa League, they're 2 priorities for us because, that's a chance of us getting some silverware on the board under Solskjaer. We are into quarterfinals of the FA Cup and we are into the quarterfinals of the Europa League and that. So these things that Manchester United have got to look forward to. Like I said to you as well, there's decisions that Manchester United have got to make for when the season resumes, and probably there's decisions we've got to make ahead of next season. Like I said to you, Solskjaer, has got to work out his best 11. I think he's got an idea though of what his best 11, of what his best 11 is. Maybe he needs to work out his best formation as well, because he has been changing formation persistently this season. He has been going like with a 4-2-3-1 a lot. A few times he's gone with a 4-3-3. Quite a few times he's gone with three at the back. From my own perception, we look more expansive with three at the back. Like I said, who's going to be our first choice left back? Is Luke Shaw going to remain our first choice left back, or is Brandon Williams going to become our first choice left back? I think probably Luke Shaw will remain our first choice left back for now. We know that David De Gea is going to remain our number one goalkeeper. Like I said as well, we've got to make a decision on Angel Gomez's future. Don't forget his contract expires at the end of this month, and there's no signs of Angel Gomez signing a new contract. I think Angel Gomez has got strong reservations about, getting into the first team, because Gomez has only made 6 first team appearances this season. More or less now, we've resolved Paul Pogba's future. I think Paul Pogba's staying at the football club for next season, and like I said, I'm very, very excited about the prospect of him playing alongside Bruno Fernandes in our midfield. I'm really, very excited about that. And I said, didn't I, Bruno Fernandes could be key to Paul Pogba's future, because if they can build a good midfield partnership, then I think Paul Pogba could sign a new long-term contract at Manchester United. They've been doing very well, very, very well together in training of Pogba and Bruno Fernandes. Like I said, Diego Dalot, we've got to know what's happening with him, because in recent weeks, it does say that Barcelona and PSG have been interested in him. But I think we're determined to keep Diego Dalot. He's our backup right back to Wan-Bissaka, because Wan-Bissaka is our first choice right back. Like I said, we got Diego Dalot in Jose Mourinho's final transfer window at the club. I think we paid around £19 million in from Porto. He has got a contract with us until 2023. But he hasn't really played this season because, analysing it, Diego Dalot has had quite a few injuries, so let's be honest. So yeah, there's decisions that Man United have got to make, and maybe, when the season resumes as well, Solskjaer will give more of the youngsters their opportunities, because I've credited Solskjaer for that. He has promoted the youth well, but there's obviously, some young players that have found game time difficult. Gomez, he's found game time difficult. James Garner, he's found game time difficult. Tahith Chong, he's found game time difficult. Like the likes of Dylan Levitt and Ethan Laird, they've barely played as well for the football club. So let's see what happens in that. But really, really looking forward, to the football season resuming. Like I said to you as well, it's going to be interesting to see how Ole Gunnar Solskjaer approaches the summer transfer window. The decisions he's got to make, of obviously, what players he's going to recommend in and what players, of course, he's going to get rid of. Solskjaer revealed his summer transfer plans a while back, and, he did say he's looking to make around 3 or 4 signings in the summer transfer window, because he believes we need around 3 or 4 signings to become title contenders next season. Because analysing at the moment, City are strides ahead of us and Liverpool are strides ahead of us. And this has been the 7th season now that, we've failed to mount any kind of title challenge up. Because like I said, we have been inconsistent in the last 7 years or something like that. We haven't won the Premier League since 2013. The last time we won it was in Alex Ferguson's last season. So there you go. And I think Solskjaer still wants to continue the policy of recruiting young British talents to Manchester United like he did do last summer and all of that. And I think a lot of people, do like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's transfer strategy, but we know already that Solskjaer's identified the areas in the squad where he wants to strengthen up. Obviously, we was looking to get a striker, but there was reports coming out earlier on this week saying that, Solskjaer is no longer interested in getting a striker. Because of obviously, Odin Igalo extending his loan at the club. Like I said, we still want a right winner. We still want to get a midfielder in. We do want to get a centre-half in as well, even though we have got a lot of centre-halves in the team. Obviously, our first choice centre-halves are Lindelof and Harry Maguire. They've built a fantastic partnership, of Harry Maguire and Victor Lindelof. done very, very well in our back line. But obviously, now with Bay and Tuan Zebe that are back from injury, you can say that Victor Lindelof is facing competition from them. So there you go. Like I said, we're going to get rid of players in the summer transfer window. I think we're going to get rid of at least 5 players in the summer transfer window. Maybe we could get rid of 6 or 7, but we're going to get rid of players in the summer transfer window. So we are going to generate money. Obviously, I think we're going to get rid of Phil Jones. We're looking to get rid of Smalling and Rojo on permanent transfers. Like I said, Jesse Lingard, I think it's going to go. Also to Andres Pereira. Don't forget, we're looking to get rid of Alexis Sanchez permanently. You know, and all of that. Angel Gomez, it's looking likely, he's going to be going. So definitely, players are going to depart the football club. But to be fair, Solskjaer has got rid of a lot of the deadwood since he got recommended in. I think a total of 19 players have left the football club since Solskjaer got recommended in and that. So there you go. So like I said, Solskjaer does deserve at least another season at the club. And he does deserve at least a couple of more transfer windows because he's still in the process of rebuilding this Man United team, and it is a transition period. And like Solskjaer revealed at the beginning of the year, he's hopeful that we can get through this transition period. But it has been a transition period for quite a while. It has been a transition period for quite a while. And yeah, like I said, Solskjaer was very, very close to getting sacked earlier on in the season. But obviously, he didn't. Like I said, the signing of Bruno Fernandes definitely saved Solskjaer's job. With the wins against the likes of City and Tottenham, you can say they also saved Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job as well. Solskjaer's been at the football club now nearly 18 months. So he has been here nearly a year and a half and that. And like I said, I've taken some positives from his tenure, and there's also negatives I've also taken from his tenure so far. But I do want things to work out under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Like I said, I have seen improvements. Like I said, there's players that have improved under Solskjaer, especially the top players. They've really, really improved. We've definitely improved in the transfer market under Solskjaer. What I mean is, I think, like Solskjaer's got the players that I wanted to recommend in, because so far he has recommended 5 good players into the football club and spent just over £200 million on them. And yeah, and we've been a bit more sensible with our recruitment because, we've been criticised for the last 7 years of how poor our recruitment policy's been. We've been criticised in that for overpaying for players. So there you go. There you go and that. So anyway, guys, that's everything to update today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.